going on, everybody? So I want to make a quick video on how to get women. So I've got a little secret for you guys. The best way to get women is to know who you are. Honestly, it's the best way. There's a lot of people on YouTube who are going to tell you that you need to smell good, you need to establish touch when you meet them, that you need to hold your shoulders back, and all of these things are correct, right? But they're pointless. They're meaningless unless you know who you are. Because ultimately, attraction will always boil down to your character, your appeal of knowing yourself. How many people do you know have been in relationships with attractive men or women and go, yeah, but they're crazy, right? Therefore, they break up with them. Or the relationship doesn't work out in general. That's not the kind of relationship you want. So if anything that you're watching, or if your idea of how to pick up a male or a female is based on your looks, you're going to fail. Now, of course, let's not act like looks don't matter. But there's several different aspects to that. Everybody has different tastes. People like what's different to them. So those things are a little bit irrelevant. We're just talking about knowing yourself. That's what people enjoy. That's what builds sustaining relationships. That's what builds confidence in who we are. So if you want to know yourself, there's a couple different ways to do it. The best way, the way I did it, I became as introspective as possible. So I tried to ask myself, why is it that I did the things that I did do, right? And also ask myself questions like, well, if this makes me nervous, and women I've never really been that nervous around, but let's say like a job interview or anything like that. You ask yourself, like, why does this make me nervous? Is it the weight of the impact of what it could be if I didn't get this? Is it being turned down? Is it feeling embarrassed? Why would it be embarrassing to get turned down? You have to ask yourself a lot of different questions. But the best thing you can do is write down, excuse me, your strengths and your weaknesses. Once you know those things, you've got a good outline of who you are, because those two things are pretty fundamental in who we are as people, right? I'm good at this. Oftentimes we know someone purely based on what they're best at, like Michael Jordan, right? You think of basketball. Why? Because that was his strength. That was what he was best at. There's a lot of different aspects to that. Well, he was good at sustaining, his character and his emotions and everything when times got hard during a game. But ultimately, we know him, his strength was playing basketball, okay? And oftentimes we define people by their weaknesses. You can be a great basketball player or whatever, but if your weakness is drinking and it's detrimental to your career and you get drunk and you make a bunch of mistakes and you lose that way, well, we don't know you as a winner. We don't know you as your strengths. We know that you failed because of your weaknesses. So knowing those two things can be, and they're ultimately the two most important things of your personality that can help benefit you going into the world. I'm good at this, therefore I have confidence in this. I'm bad at this, therefore I need to work on this. So talking about picking up women, these YouTube channels I guess they're trying to teach you how to get laid. That's not going to sustain either, because eventually what's going to happen is if you don't know who you are and you use these cheap tricks to try to approach women, and maybe you get good enough at it to get a couple dates, it'll never last long term because you don't know who you are. And ultimately what's going to happen on one of these dates is who you are is going to come out. And if you come off as someone who's insecure and unsure of who they are and what they want and even how to get what they want, it's unattractive and you're not going to get very far that way. So the best way, know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. Work on these things so that when you put yourself in a situation to where to make it or break it a time, which could be in approaching a woman, your sex appeal and the attraction towards you is based off the confidence that you have in knowing who you are. So write those things down, work on those things, and next time you're in a situation that you feel a little shaky about, go back to your strengths and know what they are. And if you have weaknesses, know what they are too, and learn to maneuver around them while you're in the process of trying to strengthen them. And that will help you out more than any cheap trick on YouTube, any pickup line, or anything that you think is going to help you get to a quick date and a quick lay. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.